$3 that much. Thank you, though. Thank you for the offer. You should, in general, just subscribe to the people who are doing things that you enjoy, so that they will keep doing the things you enjoy. That's my hot take. Support the things that you like in the world. It is a lot of what, like, having money is good for. So, harvesting and attack speed are both worse. The first thing I got was, like, the best thing there was harvesting, and the second thing I got, the best thing there is attack speed. I guess I'll just take luck. Luck's fine. Effective swords are fine. Lock that. Definitely grab a bag, because with no harvesting to get economy, we're gonna need some other things. Goodwill hunting, like... It's a movie. There are a number of ways in which it is aged poorly, and also it may not have been good when it came out. But Robin Williams certainly launched Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's careers for them, and that was very kind of him to do. I don't think Ghostland ever gets a kill. Amber links the 4 months. Appreciate it. I gotta say, as a person who, like, tries to do things in the world, it is remarkable how, like, some people help you do the things, and some people, like, use the things that you do without helping. And if you would ever like to ingratiate yourself to someone, helping them do the thing that you're trying to do is a pretty good way to achieve that. I kind of want the ghost axe. I just don't think we'll ever kill anything. It's fine, we just go spears. There was a surprising low amount of hunting in Goodwill Hunting. I think it's its name. Like, I think his last name is Hunting. Although, actually, I don't know if that's true. Probably, though. It seems like it would be. Do we think raise the minimum wage so people can support streamers they enjoy is a solid policy platform? I think raising the minimum wage is a solid policy platform. I think you can just say, like, I would like to raise the minimum wage, and then people will be like, oh, cool, good idea. Let's roll for armor. Armor's so good. I'll take attack speed. I didn't roll very many times, did I? For armor? I'm gonna take tree, though, and lock armor. The film tells the story of janitor Will Hunting. Does it? I thought it was mostly about Robin Williams doing improv. Also, he says it's not your fault a lot. Voting for minimum wage didn't work this past cycle. Well, that wasn't, like, what the election was this past cycle. Sure is a purple ranged damage. I found armor! Yay! Have we considered just giving people enough money to live with? That would be nice. It's a funny concept because, like, what is the other option? Wait. People just die? I don't know. It seems like kind of shitty. You remember taking an undergrad class where we learned the importance of poverty to the economy. I guess statistics course that had some econ grad students in it who were taking it as like their, I don't know, they needed to take a statistics credit or something, and this was the one they chose. I don't quite understand it. And we were learning about causal reasoning, so lots of directed acyclical graphs and stuff like this. Trying to look at like whether you can look at data and infer causality or not, and what methods there might be to try to do that, because of course we all know that correlation does not equal causation. But it's also true that there is causation in the world. So it would be kind of nice to have like formalized methods for saying like this data structure actually does suggest causation kind of things. And we can do like double-blind hypothesis testing, but it's expensive and hard to replicate and often biased. And so it was a cool class, I thought. Interesting puzzle that we are still trying to come up with a like formalized, agreed upon ways of solving in the world. And we had a like class project, like I think we generally got partnered up with somebody and then worked together on some sort of hypothesis. I wrote a paper I really enjoyed that was trying to look at whether different positions in chess caused different players to make more or fewer mistakes. Which I felt like I got like a pretty reasonable and significant causal implying result out of a good database from. So I liked the project. I thought it was fun. Very challenging class. And then the econ students, their final project, they just like drew a DAG and decided which way the arrows pointed. They were like, so here's what we think all the factors are in this situation, and we just kind of sat down together one night and decided which way we thought logically the causality would work. And my fucking like brain dropped out. Like, like they're like econ grad students in a class where we're learning specifically how you can't do that, and that was their final project. What does it mean, Twitch chat? Yeah, I don't know. Drawing arrows is fun. CB Tom, thanks for the prime, I appreciate it. There were some really cool projects in that class. Somebody looked at like health data from rural communities in India to look at whether a government policy was improving health outcomes. It was a fun class. ECB dump. Appreciate the sub. Glad you enjoy the show. We sure are playing a night run right now. We are reaching the point of the run where I'm slightly less strong than I have been in other runs because I'm not playing with thief daggers, but you know, I'm still pretty strong, right? Also, I have 25 armor already, so if I get hit, I may not notice. Knight is quite a few people's pick for strongest character in the game. I do not personally think it is the strongest character in the game, because, like, I think it's a little dependent on finding armor, which, like, isn't impossible or anything, but which you can fail to do. I think there are some characters who, like, actually just win no matter what happens, whereas Knight could be conceivably get offered no good armor upgrades or items ever. Our level up choice rarity is correlated in some way. Every 5 levels, so this is my level 15 level up. Every 5 levels you get one with guaranteed types of rarities. So level 15 is always all purples. Knight is super consistent. Yeah, I don't know. Knight has minus 80% harvesting mods and no, like, econ on the profile sheet, and, like, only benefits from one particular stat, so I think it's very easy to play 10 runs of Knight and have them all go very well, but I think that if you play 100 runs of Knight, you will eventually have one that's pretty gross. You might still win it. Like, the thing is, for the strongest potato in the game, like, we are talking about potatoes who, like, you expect to just win every time. I expect the top, like, 30 potatoes to just win every time or something, so... There's also, like... who you are changes how strong a character is. Knight might be the strongest character for people who are new to the game, for example. Loud is your pick for the best character. Loud is very, very, very strong. My approach to education as a young adult was extremely heavily formed by a core memory of watching the GOM Star League. The GSL. Was it the GOM Star League or was the player called GOM? Anyway, watching the GSL one night, which was a Korean StarCraft league. And Tasteless was talking about how he had a degree in philosophy, and how one time someone had asked him like what he intended to do with a degree in philosophy, as it is not a degree widely thought to have easy, like, job opportunities attached to it. And he told them, navigate successfully through life. And I was like, oh. And yeah, that's basically where I'm at. The G stands for global. That makes sense. I think there was one person there who wasn't from Korea. Maybe. It's an ancient Greek parable-ass answer to that question. I think it just rejects a lot of the water involved in the questioning, so to speak. The assumption that you need to be getting an education to get a job. That kind of stuff. I just took damage for, I believe, the first time this run. And this elite kind of tricky with melee characters. It's also a wave 14 elite, so the second half of the wave is probably going to be kinda hell. At least we'll get the elite killed before it gets really bad. Nice. With your wife and you having art degrees, you feel that statement in your soul. Yeah. Last 5% of the elite's health bar was cheating. It's because there were a bunch of enemies and I have relatively low attack speed. I was hitting a lot of other enemies and not attacking it. Is this item good here? Probably. I'll win with or without stone skin. Guess the question becomes, do we want to have stone skin in the world that exists after we have won? Would we like to live forever with stone skin? Or be free from it? I feel like stone skin would be pretty sweet, though. Does stone skin help me navigate the world? Impossible to know without trying it. Is there a max armor stat? Like, you can't get more armor than that? I'm sure there is, insofar as there is a biggest number that exists in the universe, but, no. Is there a biggest number which exists in the universe? Is that true? There is. Because you imagine the biggest number, and you try adding 1 to it, and whatever that number is bigger than the biggest number, so that one must be the biggest number. So it's just whatever the biggest number is plus 1. Nice. Solved it. Drew those arrows all over my dag. Can get up to 100 damage negation. I think it might asymptotically approach 100%. The biggest number in the universe is the biggest number that can fit in the universe. I feel like 8 is quite large, then. Like, it's so, it has 2 circles, right? It feels like it uses up all the space. So the biggest number is probably 8. Biggest reasonable number is clearly 10. Well, let me stop you right there. That's 2 numbers, first of all. It is larger than 8 as well, so it probably doesn't fit into the universe. I believe we recently established that 9, yeah, 9 has to be the biggest number, if 8 is the biggest number, so... What's negative 8 squared? Twitch chat. Hold on, let me ask again. What's negative 8 squared? Hold on, let me ask again. What's negative 8 squared? Twitch chat. Can I take this? Sure can't. Anyone have a calc that's short for calculator? Depends on the phrasing. Well, you just heard me say it. Now I need your answer. It is the longest wave 20 of recent memory. I feel like there's no way this is the strongest character. There are, like... Having to stay alive on wave 20 for this long is actually kind of hard. I mean, okay, so I take 2 damage when I get hit. But... but still. GG. Take the universe, break it into cubes with L, W, and H of the Planck length. Fill it with information about creating an information black hole. Largest number achieved. It's negative form because negative numbers get smaller when you square them. You think Asina's the best character by people who don't otherwise take armor? Oh my god, you've solved it. It's all coming together like a galaxy brain meme. Everything that everyone says about this game is because they don't take enough armor. They think Axolotl's incredible because it always gives them armor and they wouldn't have it otherwise. They think Knight is incredible because he makes them take armor and they wouldn't take it otherwise. It's... We've worked it out together. Well done, everyone.